to a session. I have already spoken to the camera. No, I've spoken to the pendulum off camera, and it is decided that the best thing to do is to. I had some questions to ask, but I was told no, don't ask those questions. What needs to be done is I need to do a Scrabble throw. My mom and my sister will be speaking with me, is what she says. I check with the pendulum off camera. So she says just do the Scrabble throw and then we'll see what we get from it. She wants to communicate through the Scrabble throw. Okay. Today is Sunday. It is close to 1 in the afternoon. I have finished my lunch. It is the 23rd of November 2025. So we'll go ahead with the Scrabble throw. So let's just confirm whether I understood properly. You want me to go ahead and do the Scrabble throw? You are in the afterlife. You are Mrs. Anita Merchant. You died as an augur from the body. You are JAYA.ADVANI, my baby sister, who I didn't spend too much time with, unfortunately. You're also in the afterlife, sweetheart. Alright, you want me to go ahead and do the Scrabble? I shouldn't do the investigation. You will talk through the Scrabble. So we go ahead and do that. Okay? Just a minute. Acha, just tell me one thing. Am I wearing my puffer jacket as of now? Am I wearing a black t-shirt, sweetheart? Am I wearing a polo t-shirt today? Am I wearing a round neck t-shirt today with the word polo written on it? Okay. Is it a blue color t-shirt? Am I wearing a bra? Am I wearing a ganji? What mama used to make me wear as a kid. So something similar to that. Am I wearing a ganji or a vest? At least it resembles a ganji. Or whatever, singlet, winglet, God knows what it is. But it's like a ganji. Like a vest on the inside. Okay. So this is what I'm wearing. This is the ganji. This is the shirt. Okay, so we get on with the session. So I will do the Scrabble box mix up and let's just see what they want to say out of the box. Okay, everything is open. There's no real question and there is nothing on the mind. This is what we've picked up. This is the extra. KG is Kabir Gupta. EU is Europe. FM is the FM. E A. AI. The finance minister's EA is today shape-shifting for Kabir Gupta in Europe with the help of AI, or that who was shape-shifting for the EA of the FM has also shape-shifted for Kabir Gupta, because the topic is about SL. One person identified is who? One person identified is for Kabir Gupta, who's dead. He's my first cousin. Koshi Gupta, his mother, who was murdered in 1993. Kabir Gupta, her older son, who's also dead. He was equated to Dhruva, not a shapeshifter, that's a con artist. Any shapeshifter, no matter who you are, when you grab identity of a dead person, one, you become an accomplice to murder. Second, you are a con artist. So not con artists. No con artists. The original Mr. Kabir Gupta, who's a dead, murdered man in all probability, he had one shapeshifter, that is Sandra D'Souza's cousin brother, whose father murdered, according to the pendulum, Sandra D'Souza's own father at Hill Road, throwing Sandra D'Souza and her brother onto the streets and grabbing their property on Hill Road. That's how Sandra D'Souza, when she was about 15, 16, 17 years old, joined the real murdered Suchitra JAYA.ADVANI, a newly married woman and a new mother, in 1974, 75, 76 sometime. They were in Bombay at that time. The couple left Bombay, moved to Bangalore, lived in 2 bungalows with Nikhil Advani on rent. Vasant Mahal is one place and Jai Mahal is another place. Sandra moved with them wherever they went. Sandra also stayed with them in Cunningham Road, Hoysala Apartments, Hoysala, where their neighbor was Sally and Sabrina, who again, Sabrina worked in a hotel or as an air hostess. You were their neighbor. Right or wrong? So, they know of Sandra D'Souza. They know who Sandra D'Souza is. Sandra D'Souza is no more. History of Sandra D'Souza I have given you. It is Sandra D'Souza's cousin, whose family still stays at that Hill Road place, who has played the role of dead Kabir Gupta. The other guy who has also shapeshifted for the identity of Kabir Gupta, as mentioned over here, either he has played the role as an EA to some FM in the Indian Parliament and played Kabir Gupta's role, done something with artificial intelligence connected to Europe. Now, if you think about the Brexit, don't know how communication happens, but this artificial intelligence helps you steal, it helps you wear the face of somebody else's identity, because that's what we got. Somebody was wearing the ET of the ED. So if somebody gets a call from someone and says, I'm from the ED, I'm giving you this thing to do, whoever is getting the instructions thinking it is their boss from the ED department, but actually it is something that is the ET of the ED. The face behind the person who's giving the instructions, had you seen his real face or her real face, you will say, I'm putting you into jail. Why you are talking like this? It's not your job to talk like this. Right? So if you have at some point in time gone and fooled the ED, then you have done so from a place of authority. Does the ED have to listen to the Home Ministry and to the Finance Minister? If some minister calls you, will you have to listen? If the secretary of the minister calls you, will you have to listen? So they have been fooling lots of people. This must be history. 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, up to today also maybe, if you have not wisened up. That is if you are alive. That's another angle to it. Kabir Gupta's PAN card was misused in Europe along with mine. This is earlier. That is because the beast was shape-shifting for Kabir Gupta's mother, coming and going from that identity. The beast is born in 1958, according to my read. Kabir Gupta's mom is born in 1947, 1946, 1948 max. Max 1949. But mostly between 1945 and 1949 in India, Bombay itself. After they have moved to Bombay, pre-partition 4 years. So the 3 older siblings were born from, my dad is 37, he is the second born. 1.5 years before that is JAYA.ADVANI. So he would be born in I don't know, my maths is a little bad. But after him in 1939, my other aunt, JAYA.ADVANI was born. So my dad in 37, Kailash auntie in 39. 2 years before my dad in 37, maybe in 36, 35, JAYA.ADVANI would have been born. That is all pre-partition in Sindh. Then when my dad is about 7 years old, he says he moved to Bombay with his siblings. Then 2 more babies were born. Initially they lived in the rented apartment, which was a smaller apartment on a higher floor in the same Jaswal building. But when the babies were born, space was small. They exchanged it with somebody on the first floor who wanted a smaller apartment, lesser rent to be paid, and it was a fair exchange between both of them. Both were on old rent. Kabir Gupta's real mother apparently was pulled off the grid in 1988, murdered in 1993. Kabir Gupta's brother called Akhil Gupta had a ruler broken on him for his studies apparently sometime in the 80s. So he is complaining about it, about how his mother had got so angry with him, broke the ruler on him, on his legs. The point is, I've got Akhil Gupta as well as Kabir Gupta over here, but both are no more in the body. Earlier my reading says that my PAN card and Kabir's PAN card were misused by somebody in Europe. Only a pen. I've never been to Europe in my entire life. So I'm trying to put it together. I'm saying if it is true that the beast goes, because the beast is forever shape-shifting in and out of different people's identities, the only thing to give away about the beast is the 5 feet 5 inch height. So my suggestion this morning was, get a person who is stick thin, 5 feet 5 inches, and keep making that person wear body suits. With little more weight to the size of someone with considerable weight. Simultaneously, make them wear shoes, from chappals to let's say 4-inch wedges maybe, and see what can happen in transformation to a skinny, sticky, absolutely thin like a stick being who is under normal circumstances 5 feet 5 inches, but like a bag of bones, skeletal thin, and see what you can make such a person. And may not be skeletal thin, but thin enough so that when they have to step into the identity of a very thin person, they can get away with it wearing the skin of some VIP, dead VIP around the world, or take an underground VIP underground, and then take it to height increase, size increase also. See what you can get out of it. Okay. The FM position, you can understand it is a important position where people will not suspect foul play. For that, the FM himself has to be aware of what's happening in the country, because he can have shapeshifters going over there. Now, if the beast was shapeshifting in Kaushik Gupta's place post 1988, not always in that position stationary, coming and going from that position and rotating in other homes of that height, then of course Akhil Gupta, Kabir Gupta, there is a very close watch on their movements. Also, Akhil Gupta apparently was removed in 1995 from his human body. Aki came in instead. Aki being something completely different. The manipulator is the beast. And the beast is not Vladimir Putin, because Vladimir Putin's height is 5'3". The beast minimum height, skinny thin body, can look smaller, primarily because the beast is skinny thin. That is why you are being requested to take an actual height measuring grid. Take somebody who is a bag of skeletons, but is, or like skeletal photo. And you should get a live person, not a photo. Get a live person, not a skeleton, not a skeletal. Get a very thin person and put them under the height measuring thing, and then make them just normal. See if you feel they are 5'5", till you don't put them under the height. Then fatten them up and see what they become, what height they go to. The beak is used for what? What does a bird do when he's taking flight from one place to another? He eats with his beak. He nibbles on food with his beak. He also uses his beak to give a call to people or to talk to other birds. The beak also makes his nest. What does that bird use his beak for? The beak primarily is on the crow. The beak is on the duck. I don't know, you find out who is the beak. So if the beak is used to nibble food, eat other people's stuff maybe, build a nest, a base, communicate, so it is connected with the real Akhil Gupta and the real Kabir Gupta. I don't think Akhil Kabir Gupta had anything to do with Europe ever, the originals. None of us actually been to Europe for whatever reason, other than going on the Chidambaram ship to Singapore and Penang. We didn't go anywhere else. Except come to Bangalore, or then initially come to Bombay, or then from Bangalore, Ooty and Cody Max. I'm going to continue with this session that I did talking to my cousin Kabir Gupta. He wants me to still continue doing this session. The beast has moved to Bombay out of Seema Ramanan's identity 2 days ago. Has gone to Bombay but extended herself, I don't know, the beast's gender is still questionable. Gone to the sets for the finale of the reality show held at Panvel or wherever. The contestants over there are in danger because he has a plan for some of them who he is going to replace. And not replace like throw you out of the contest and all of that, none of that. For his own entertainment or her own entertainment. A very quick exchange. No, he will not kill you immediately. वो तुमको थोड़े वक्त के लिए few months to a year रखेगा. Toy with you. Your theme is what? No food, no water. This time you won't go to Panvel to Lonavala. It will be on the way to Pen. Panvel to Pen to Goa. Something over there is where he's got a facility according to my reading. So just be careful. There's a way you can save yourself. Even one toilet break can be devastating. क्योंकि ये वेपर करके तुमको ऑफ कर देता है. So you will fall down senseless. The gunny is waiting. तुम्हारा replica will be sitting with the rest of them like nothing happened. So for him it is a game. Also it energizes him. So here anyway, continuing with this read, because my cousin wanted Kabir Gupta, who's no more in the body, we got Dhruva for him. Dhruva being, I thought they're calling him Dhruva. So he said no. Then later on I got, acha, Dhruva actually is a place which is between Bhuvarloka and Swargloka. It's closer to Swargloka. So perhaps that's where he's talking from. Okay, having exited out of the body. So Aki is after Akhil Gupta. Aki came in, so he at some point in time knew this girl called Mew. She was his beau, she was his girlfriend, whatever. But if you realize, यहाँ पे Akhil नहीं है. Either it is Aki or Aki. The best part that I noticed now recently, Kabir is spelled K-A-B-I-R or K-A-B-E-E-R, Kabir. So this is not my cousin. My cousin though exited in 1999. He was removed out of the body. He says it is connected with Anne's murder. So Anne could have come, Sam Rani's mother could have come to India and never returned. Because she had a case of shingles, herpes and then disappeared for 4 years. So who went back in her place is the big question. Kabir is saying he was friends with Anne. Then he's saying no, but Rosie Fernandez got his murder done. I say, how is it possible? I say, did you get murdered in Bombay? He says no. You got murdered abroad? He says yes. But then it is Anne from abroad who came to India and perhaps never returned. If my own cousin's name was here, I would say okay, it is about him. But this is about his replica. So his replica has an assistant. Is that Aki? Who is the boyfriend of Mew? From abroad is what I feel more than anything else. They smoke. My cousin has never smoked actually in front of me. Maybe she smokes. Or Abby is who? Abby is Abhay Agarwal. But Abhay Agarwal also doesn't smoke. Acha, this may have happened in the past where she wanted to smoke. She wanted to smoke and she was told no, no smoking, no cigarettes. Maybe later on she wore the far deodorant as Shalina and as Anita. I don't know if her bag went missing at some point in time and it was stolen by her partner Uchit or a shapeshifter as the fee for. When I had gone to Bangalore Club and I was hanging around these rats, the one who was pretending to be a dead SRL, we went for what is it called? Whatever nights we have, right? Even in Bombay we have the nights. Over there someone stole my handbag and flicked my phone. 2002. So you have a bar night. In Bombay at least it's a bar night. In Bombay it is a bar night. In Bangalore also maybe it was a bar night. When we went for the bar night, somebody just flicked my bag and flicked my phone. That means that this bunch of shapeshifters who were shapeshifting had already entered into identities to go to the club and to be at the bar night of the club. You cannot be somebody who's actually stealing. You have to be somebody you have to be somebody who's able to afford the club membership to start with. And even if you are a guest with somebody, ideally you are not going to be somebody who flicks. This crowd had already gotten was already in Bombay and Bangalore. They flicked my silver Queen Anne bowl from my home, and it is like considerable value. That's the first sign that this lot that steals. 1998 is when they stole it. That had been with us ever since 1983 when we purchased it. Pratap Jewelers, the Silver House, lots of stuff. In fact, after they came in, after this, Shalina's team, Shalina and father is what they look like, my father and Shalina. But my family doesn't do that. They have broken the locker and grabbed all the silver and run off. And that silver has a good value. That is in which year? 2017-18 sometime. They are part of this crowd. They are shapeshifters, they are clones. They are not the originals. Agnello Fernandez has pretended to be Akil Gupta. Fernandez is supposed to have been involved in the murder of Rosie Fernandez is supposed to be involved in the murder of Kabir Gupta when he was in New York, connected with Anne, who used to visit India, Sam's mother. But Akil Gupta was supposed to have been murdered sometime in 1993. Upon his murder, what? You fixed your son Agnello Fernandez over there? The guy who walked on this floor like he owns it from the 19th floor and rerouted the router before the maid left. After that maid left, name is Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy's identity, except you made 10 people shapeshift in Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy's identity and you harassed her already unwell husband who was in an accident by you people, waist down. Go back to 2022 mid, all the way to 2024 end. Apparently, the bloody beast after that understood that there's going to be no hiring in my home. So came and lived on Purva Palm Beach property grounds and has murdered 10 people so far in all categories, making it highly unsafe for the rest of everybody. Whether you know it or you don't know it, it is my duty to put it out. Rest you can take it or leave it. So the guy who came over here on this floor with 2 more men, when the maid went out to keep the bloody garbage, that guy walked on the floor like dead Akil Gupta or Aki. Who was he walking like? And standing there as Kiran Merchant. Now, Agnello Fernandez, you are being called out for having shapeshifted. I didn't know about Akil Gupta. I was talking about Mr. Kiran Merchant. Today I am saying you are being DK Shivakumara. Or at least the group of you people who know each other who are shapeshifting is standing in for Mr. DK Shivakumara. Mr. DK Shivakumara was taken underground in Delhi. He was called to Delhi and that is why Congress was allowed to win in the state of Karnataka. Your eyes were on banging out the network that you have already destroyed. The last challenge for you would have been DK Shivakumara. You got him to Delhi, took him underground. And Dev is the one, according to Lunar Eclipse last that has just gotten over now in 2025, it is Dev Hingorani at UB City who was at the receiving end of something. And he has been attacked 2 times so far. 2 or 3 times so far. अब चुड़ैल तो वहाँ पे छोड़ के गई है, फिर गई है सीमा रावणन बनने के लिए, अब मोस्ट रिसेंटली गई है बॉम्बे लास्ट 2 days के अंदर. And yes, she's heading towards, is already planted in your studio, whatever your studio place is, for the finale. With a plan to take some people underground as the clones for you. You will not be killed almost immediately. पहले तो वो थोड़ा हैरेस करे. हर किसी का एक्सपायरी डेट है, लेकिन तुम मरेगा कैसे, मरेगी कैसे, वो उसके ऊपर, जो खुद को भगवान सोचता है. ऑफ नर्क एंड पाताल. I don't know if there's some digital stuff that you people have picked up. That is not the real AG. He was murdered in 1993. So the one who thinks she's a queen bee, you don't listen to her. She has a temper tantrum. She has played the role of Koshi Gupta also. So she thinks she's a queen bee. What does the queen bee do? She's a solitary queen. बाकी के जो है क्या बनते हैं? Workers. She has worn many faces. She is including apparently Veer, and now coming to, has already reached the reality show for the finale. After all, Queen वहाँ पे beginning to end क्यों काम करे? जो finale extension के अंदर है, so wanted with so many TRPs, just can't get off the nobody wants it to leave. Extension के अंदर Queen B ही आएगी. Yeah, one more over here. Hong Kong's worst blaze in decades, 55 killed, 270 injured, over 1,000 missing. This is the work of IR. You understand or you don't understand? You can understand, or you're still not understanding about the bio war and about IR. The world is already in a war. We have been in a biotech war for quite some time. Who is going to end it, and which bloody military around the world can end it is the big question. It's not a joke. Like this, if the Queen Bee gets triggered for small things, SL will be bursting anything and anything anywhere. It doesn't take much to set off that fire. That is why I told you about even this Purva Palm Beach grounds. तुमको पहले ही बोला है, बहुत तुमको पहले ही बोला है. इनको आता है ये कैसे करते हैं. It's all technology, mister. I'm telling you, talk to the military. I'm telling you a zillion times. Otherwise, if things go wrong, every person that dies, you will be called the assistant to murder. 1% तुमको मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. क्योंकि from the perspective of those who are telling you and you are doing the job, Mu undergrad. AF fake B. Aguinaldo Fernandez's sister? You'll teach me how to make a bed? In my own grandfather's home, is it? Then you will play Shalina ever? Go back to 2006, 7, 8 sometime. Who is that version of Shalina who, after going to the crematorium, comes back and says, I don't believe in God, I believe I am God, who has seen tomorrow? Who's that? Which of the 7 leftover Shalinas? Which of the 7 shapeshifters for Shalina Hundalani? Kak Pap? Which Kak Pap? It's my bloody fucking home. Your mother is working in my home, in the home office for Kani and Company, JAYA.ADVANI and Company. It's my bloody fucking house. I'm learning to crawl like and shit where I want. It's my home. If anyone has the right to tell me something, it is my father's mother. She has never told me anything. My mother can give me 2 raps and tell me, why are you doing this? She has never done that. You as the secretary sitting in the office is going to decide for my home. What you made, how many stories? And what kind of people listen to the nonsense you have spewed to them? They all were donkeys. No common sense, no intelligence. Servile to the beast. With your shitty energy, no matter how much you insult me, you are an insult by Atma. You just leave the body. The fun for the next 428,000 years, if the Yuga, called Kali Yuga, works till that time, you little prick, are going to be the last fucker standing on earth. Everything will be gone, but you will be here. You understood? And when this time is changing, that time you ugly cheapsters will get to go to Nark. Otherwise, Nark is visiting you here. You understood? No two ways about it. You do cheap, you are cheap, you come to pay your debts. Talk about responsibility, you like taking other people's responsibility. First, finish your own responsibility. Rest, everyone else can take care of themselves. Anybody who's been a shapeshifter for anybody else and fooled people and murdered the original, all you bloody rats will be the last one standing on earth till the time the dark ages don't come to an end and the next age does not start. You don't decide it. That is decided from the spirit world and not by people who are guests on earth for 100 years, 200 years, 50 years, not by that lot. But you must be really empowered desperados, willing to do anything because you are so empowered. Come on. Why play sounds from under my shoulder when God gave hands, fingers? Why so empowered, you empowered sneak? Even under my skin, you are functioning like a Patal Nark, Vasi Basi, darkness personified. Understood? Beast. Can I ask you one thing? Kabir Gupta? Kabir? Sweetie, you are my cousin from 1973, 74, 75, 80. Are you my cousin from then? What I'm trying to understand over here, Rosie Fernandez has a daughter too. She had Rocky Fernandez, Agnello Fernandez for sure. Not sure whether she had 2 daughters, 2 sons, or 3 sons and 1 daughter. So my question to you is, did the sister play the role of your mother ever as Koshi Gupta amongst the shapeshifters? She also played the role. What the beast gives her the role to play whenever the beast is rotating somewhere else. The beast has her on the list as one of the Koshi Guptas in exchange for whenever the beast needs to go somewhere else. Who plays the role of Koshi Gupta? Who plays the role of Koshi Gupta maximum? The Fernandez girl? She has played it maximum. After which year can you tell me? In the 90s? In the 90s, the bee used to play. In the 90s, the bee used to play Koshi Gupta maximum. Whoever is the bee, the queen bee. Okay, so from which year did Fernandez's daughter start playing Koshi Gupta? After I left the marriage? Or not the marriage, after I left that shithole of a poor excuse? Was it after? It was just before? Was it simultaneous with your murder in 1999? Okay, so if I can ask you, the bee was removed in which year, can I ask you? In the year 1999, the bee was removed. In the year 2000, was the bee removed? In the year 2001, was the bee removed? When she has come for Shalina Hundalani's wedding to Bombay, the bee was removed. Was the bee removed in Bombay? When she has come to Bombay for Shalina Hundalani's wedding, that's the time. Was the bee murdered at that time? Was the bee put out onto the railway tracks in a shanty to live life with someone looking like Shalina Hundalani, 2 people in 2 shanties along the railway tracks? The 2 of them were moved there with no memory. And in place for them came Rosie Fernandez's daughter to play the bee. So what I was shown, about Koshi Gupta, one version, on the railway tracks, on the side of it, in a shanty with someone looking like Shalina, but they're enjoying themselves, laughing away. They're still enjoying themselves. They're not bothered. Did they have memory of who they were at that time? Are they still in the human body as of today? Is one of them still in the human body? Are both in the human body today? Is Shalina version still in the human body today? Out of them, is Shalina still in the human body? The bee is still in the human body today? At the shanty? Maybe, or no, is she still in the human body today? Is the bee still in the human body today, sweetheart? In a shanty somewhere? She lives where? In Bombay? Who is she really? Is she actually from a good family? She Shapurji Palunji's sister? She's from Kerala somewhere? She's the one who used to take us to KGA. Were you there when we used to go to KGA to eat appam and something? Is she the lady at Old Hall Road? So she's still alive, but she is in Bombay and she remembers herself who she really is. Does she even look like Koshi auntie? She doesn't look like Koshi auntie. Does she look like herself? What she used to be before she got CRISPR to be Koshi auntie, she looks like herself. But then she has family in Kerala, then they should scout for her in Bombay, right? Anyway, after that, Agnello Fernandez's sister has been playing Koshi Gupta. The one who came for lunch to my home with all the fake people around her, that was Agnello Fernandez's sister who arrived here. That was the beast. The one who came here for lunch when Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy and Shilpa were working over here. Who was the beast? The beast was hiding in Koshi Gupta's identity. Who was playing Akhil Gupta? No, that was not Akhil Gupta, I understand. But who was playing Akhil Gupta? One of the Fernandezes played Akhil Gupta. You're trying to tell me everybody who came to lunch on that once only when they came? They were mostly the Fernandezes who were over here shape-shifting. Fernandezes and the D'Souza's. Fernandez and D'Souza. They were primarily the younger generation. NICKEL was playing Sarah on that day. One of the dark girls were playing Sarah on that day from the chawl, what was shown in my dream. So, and Shamlu. That was cotton green. So the two daughter-in-laws were actually filled in for by cotton green. Kabir Gupta at that point in time was D'Souza. Akhil Gupta was Agnello Fernandez. Fernandez's sister played Koshi Gupta. Then who is Nitesh Gupta? Was Nitesh Gupta the original? Who came here on that day, was Nitesh Gupta the original? Your actual brother from JAYA.ADVANI and Subhash Gupta. That was also a fake ID. Nitesh also was a fake ID. But tell me one thing. This is one version of Agnello Fernandez. How does he here? Akhil was much taller, I felt. Does he wear something in his shoes to make him taller? Is this guy the same guy shape-shifting for DK Shivakumara? The guy who played Akhil Gupta on that day, if he's Agnello Fernandez, but Agnello Fernandez, according to me, played Kiran Merchant also. But there is a height difference. There is a big height difference. There's no height difference. Akhil Gupta, who came to my home, was tall. Kiran Merchant doesn't go beyond 5'9", 5'10" in height. DK Shivakumara is not more than about 5'8", I think. He's pretty short. So that's a confusion actually. He wears shoes to make him look taller as Akhil Gupta. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay. I cannot understand. What is the gufa? Mu gufa akka. Mu akka gufa. Feb E. Gufa means a cave. So which Mu is this? Which sister of Mu is this? Who's going to a cave or was already taken away to a cave? Gufa means cave. The February is what? The coming February? February that has already gone. Physically, she was kept in a cave. Is she still in her human body? She was taken to the cave and murdered. The beast took her there. So you're telling me that Rosie Fernandez's daughter, her sister went into the cave? The Shalina Hundalani's replica, who was friends with the two of them who were on the sidelines, who were seen happy on the side on the railway track, opposite of the railway track, means not on the side of the railway track in two shanties, were they friends? That's what was shown to me in my sleep. You're telling me the one who was shape-shifting for Shalina, she was taken to the cave? The one who was shape-shifting for Shalina was taken to the cave? And what, she was murdered in the cave? She was a shapeshifter for Shalina Hundalani, or as Shalina Hundalani? So primarily you're saying the ones who get CRISPRed, the brains primarily move into the hands of that who does the CRISPRing. Then depending on how they're all considered like an asset. Depending on how they have to be used, they get used. And then they get murdered. They are plugged into places which requires the duplicate. Generally, they are places with resources. They talk about living an experience of a high life, on the back of which middle class girls or lower middle class girls agree. They all get CRISPRed. They do the job whether they know it or not. When the job is over and done with, and the job now needs to be done by somebody else with the same face, these girls get taken somewhere and murdered. That's what you're trying to say? Fernandez is running this cattle? Railroad Cotton Green are the ones running this cattle? What, with the identity of Chitru and Ramesh Advani? They are the ones running this cattle. One minute, if the original Suchitra Mirchandani Advani is dead and Ramesh Advani is God knows where, and you're saying they're two fakes, so give the identity of who they are hiding out as. They're hiding out as Chitru and Ramesh. The other one is hiding out as who? Kabir Gupta? Akhil Gupta? JAYA.ADVANI is part of all this, holding the pendulum. Am I a fake who even knew about any of this crappy stuff that these people do? This cartel is run by anybody from UB City with the identity of Ritu Malia. Fake identity DK Shivakumara today. And today that means Fernandez as Koshi Gupta that runs the cattle. Tell me, amongst this Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy's murder, who did? Can you tell me? Is Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy alive in the body today? They created a clone for her before murdering the original. She plays the role of Kareena also today. But the real Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy is in her human body, the one who came out of the womb as Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy. Is she alive today? So, did that old Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy ever lend her face as Kareena Kapoor also sometimes stand in for her? But that girl has been replaced by a replica who also plays Kareena. The replica does not play Kareena. They found somebody else to play Kareena now. Okay, let me see what it is. This is already done and over with. Okay. Kuan means a well. So Mew going into the well is Agnello Fernandez in Feb. He did that. I don't know if it has got to do with a GM or it's got to do with Akhil Gupta's identity used by Agnello Fernandez when he has taken some version of Shalina Hundalani and put her into the well. So there is a cave and there is a well, primarily places of darkness where they were killed. I got my own family. It's called the Advani family. Agnello Fernandez, your mother and your grandmother worked for my family. I'm the original JAYA.ADVANI, born to Mr. Kanhaiya Lal Hukumat Rai Gurmukh Das Advani, no matter how much you want to call me Bena. If you were fooled in believing that Sandra D'Souza was CRISPR to be JAYA.ADVANI, that's all bullshit. It's good. We can ask my cousin. He'll tell who I am. My cousin's name is Kabir Gupta, born on 22nd of March 1972. 1 year before me. Kabir, I want to know one thing. I'm an Advani. Am I Sandra D'Souza CRISPR to be JAYA.ADVANI? You should be able to see the Atma and not the face. Am I Sandra D'Souza by whom CRISPR'd, face changed to look like JAYA.ADVANI or Jaya Kanhaiya Lal Advani? Were these people mistaken that I had been CRISPR'd out of Sandra D'Souza's identity into JAYA.ADVANI's identity? Were they given to believe that at some point in time? It was done on purpose. Somebody realized that all the clones are being replaced by other clones. To safeguard their interests, they played this thing so that there's someone who will be there to deny something and then to say, but from my perspective, things are different. Has Agnello Fernandez understood that I happen to be the real Advani's first daughter, his mother's boss's daughter, and his grandmother's boss's granddaughter? So what? It's a desperate attempt from their end to call me Benam? Are these guys going to get caught, this bloody bunch, D'Souza's and Fernandez? If they're involved in the heist, including, let's say, shapeshifting for Mr. D.K. Shivakumara, and if it is true that Mr. D.K. Shivakumara in Delhi, when he went for 1.5 hours in Raga's room, he never returned actually from Delhi. Will that be found out? If that is true, this shapeshifting bunch is going to be caught. It's a huge network out there, and lots of stealing, lots of murder. So are they going to involve the bloody military or not? Are they going to involve the military, Kabir? You're answering them, sweetie. I'm asking you a question. Are they going to involve the world military? Okay, let me get back to seeing what the read says. Akhil Gupta would not have beef because we're a Hindu family. When I have gone abroad, I have had the McDonald's burger, which does have, till we realize, oh, this is not chicken or mutton, right? But Agnello Fernandez won't have a problem at all. That means that version of Mr. Kani Advani or Mr. Kanayalal Hukumatrai Advani, when he brought beef into the house, and I was very surprised. That was 2006 or 5. That was a Catholic man wearing the face of Mr. Kanayalal Hukumatrai Advani, marking his territory. This is why, with all confidence, whoever walked onto this floor with 2 more men rerouted the router. The video I took out and put out also. When the maid left my home to keep the garbage out, the 4 of them knew each other. He came from the 19th floor. But when the maid left working from my home, the beast in 2025 arrived and lived on Purva Palm Beach grounds during 2025. Left only recently. First stop was UB City. Second stop was Seema Ravanan. Third stop now is Bombay. And in that few months of living here on Purva Palm Beach, I don't know if it happened before also, but 10 people have lost their lives. You will not know about it because they will have replicas in place for them. They can be anybody, they can be residents, they can be working here, they could be coming and going also. They could be sitting Help desk guy was sitting and talking in my ears. But the help desk does not have the ability to do that unless the beast hasn't gone down, grabbed the voice, sat in his place after getting rid of him. Only then, not otherwise. Name being Narendra. Just now I spoke like my mother. With my mother's voice, but my mother is to no more. So maybe Agnello Fernandez at some point in time played Mew to Cubs. I asked you how is it possible कि शामलू शर्मा वही कहती है जो किरण मर्चेंट कहता है 2010 and 11. So Cubs stays at Fern's residency. Mew is actually Agnello Fernandez who plays Akhil Gupta at times and then sometimes plays Shamlu Sharma. Because if he has played Kiran Merchant and Akhil Gupta and Mew of Cubs, then as Kiran Merchant he said the same thing that he said as Mew. So there are two girls in the chawl, two dark girls as part of their gang. Hill Road D'Souza, Sandra D'Souza's cousin, and Rosie Fernandez's two sons. One at least who's Agnello Fernandez repeatedly. Whatever you write in my ear is not the absolute truth. When we leave the body, what happens is we go into Atma. Atma, our families are waiting for us over there. So are the judges. You're getting an ass kicking from where it matters. All this dance drama, only uneducated, very empowered, very rich, good karmic currency do. Very empowered. You are drowning in debts if you have not understood it. Now, you are only something that has played the role of dead, murdered Mr. Kiran Merchant, what all did your older brothers do, Rocky Fernandez, that he has earned 44 into 4 yugas, Nark and Patal? I don't know what this is, if they are involved now in the bio war of spreading bugs around the world to make people sick. These guys are connected with terrorism. Bombay and Bangalore police supports them. I can say it very openly. And Bombay CBI. Like Sushant Singh Rajput case open shut, and then CBI from out of the state has to come to reopen it. And then we get the bug, coronavirus, putting them in a stop state. In those 2-3 months, everything can be wiped out. Makes it more difficult to find conclusions. I went to Mr. Maria 2006 telling him something is wrong. Then I went to Mr. Nangre 2008-9 saying something is wrong. Then I went to the cyber cell in Bombay saying something is wrong. We're still grappling with what is wrong and trying to figure it out in this manner on our own. The ones you have served want all this shut off. All the time they talk about Gale gas, because actually it is getting their gas going for whatever these reads say. Okay, so there is one version of Shamlu and one version of Girija. You like to shop at Fab India? You are connected with Aki. You have played both Shamlu Sharma as well as Girija. Both go shopping at Fab India. Both want to help the domestic workers of India. So give them your inheritance, every money that you are earning, hand it over to them. Get them jobs, whatever. Why go messing with their jobs in homes at the salaries they are getting? You want them paid 50,000, 1 lakh? You have created a mess in Purva Palm Beach on their salaries also. Whereas at Fern's Residency, for such a big bungalow, you are paying 2,500 to the maid to clean the whole home. Go and burn everybody else's homes, creating a descent on the salary. Mostly you work through the domestic workers. But what do you pay in your own home? तुम लोग जो है, you are not fit for any place on earth, frankly telling you. So either you stay here and this place will be equal to Nark and Patal, or you leave and you go reside in spirit at Nark and Patal. They've created the same mess here. I told you, wherever these people go, one, you will have maintenance fees for no rhyme or reason, things stop working. The common area things go for a toss. You can have a fire here the way Hong Kong, China, wherever they've just had this huge fire. You can have it over here, I'm telling you, for the 10th time through my readings. The only thing these people know how to do is spoil things, create dissent amongst people. In the confusion, they steal and run. Don't even know what kind of recruitment, frankly, has been happening from the 90s when it comes to the public services and the public service sector. It is not what you think it is. It is a great grand heist. This country has been under a siege, frankly, according to me, ever since late 90s, early 2000. We've just gotten worse and worse and worse. The skyline of Bombay that you see is just an eyewash. When Bombay became Mumbai like Dubai, you should have understood it. When the Mahajans killed each other, when one brother killed another, you should have understood it. It's all dance drama. You go and look, it's a ticking time bomb. Those who steal don't know how to make the money. One day, whatever you steal is going to run out. It runs out, where are you going to get more money? You'll kill each other. And if once people leave the body and realize what you've done on earth, none of them from the higher realms wants to return to earth, then that's it, you're on your own. Then 428,000 years you got to take out on your own. You and everything that you live with in Nark and Patal. You all help each other. Are you here? Kabir? Kabir Gupta, you are still here? Nikhil is with you, darling? Nikhil's come? JAYA.ADVANI is with you, darling, not NICKEL, NIKHILADVANI, my cousin. So, cutie, you're here. Is my sister Varsha.ADVANI over here too? Has my mom also arrived? Mama, you're here? Okay, very good. I'm very happy. Okay, do I need to continue with this Scrabble, or have you said whatever you wanted to say? Can I stop this? Can I stop this Scrabble session, Mom? See? Mama. Okay, so I'm stopping the Scrabble session. I'm closing the session. I'll talk to you outside the camera. Okay? I'm closing this now.